Good morning, folks. Right, so this is my little Chinese air pistol reflex sight. I've had it a number of years, and excuse me, and it's been, for the main part, it's been a reasonable little sight. The biggest problem is that the dot, sorry, it's a bit difficult to, the dot is somewhat large, somewhat fuzzy, somewhat bright, and there's no control on it to adjust it, and also there's no way to turn it off. Now, I seem to recall that the instructions said that just here there's a little photo transistor, and that if you were to cover, there's a cover that I've long since thrown away, because that if you cover that up, it actually stops the unit from working. Well, I've covered it up, probably not going to be able to, there we go. Okay, so it just doesn't work. So what happens is over a period of months, and it does take months, the battery flattens, so you come to use it and there's no battery. So yeah, so I always said to myself, I'll buy myself a proper decent one at some point, and well, that brings me on to this. This is a proper decent one. Oh, just, this was made by Hawke Vector Optics, and it's the Sphinx 122. Now, Vector Optics, as I understand, are actually a sort of professional company, so I think this is a Chinese clone, basically. I think this is just a piece of Chinesium tat, but it's worked, you know, I'm not going to knock it, it's worked. However, okay, so here we have something much better. This is the Hawke Reflex sight. A far superior unit in almost every measurable way. That being said, this is a best part of 150 quid, which is a lot, but it looks quality, it feels quality, and it's just generally so much better in so many ways. The old adage, you get what you pay for, don't you? So let's just have a quick look. So, nicely coated optics. It has the windage and elevation, sort of recessed turrets. The old Chinese thing, it has, there's a screw sort of just on the, just where my finger is, at the tip of my finger, and then there's another screw just on the side there, and they're the windage and elevation. They work, they're not brilliant, but this is a much better sort of recessed turrets. It has two switches here, marked plus and minus. These are the on and off and brightness adjustment controls. There is no on switch, you just push the button, and I'll just see if, let me just get it to a higher level of brightness, and we'll see whether there we go. So the first thing I notice is that, and I wonder if I can just get the, if I can keep that, it's really quite difficult, that, believe me. Yeah, I'm just trying to just sort of adjust the brightness, but it works, and it works well. So Yeah, and if you just press and hold either of the buttons for about 3 seconds, then it goes off altogether. If it doesn't detect movement for 5 minutes, it will turn itself off, or I'll rephrase that, it will put itself into standby mode, so it will still consume battery power, just much less. And talking of the battery, there's a little battery drawer here that uses a tiny little Phillips screwdriver, which you do get. So you get the sides, you get the cover, you get 2 Allen keys, and for adjusting, one's for one of the Allen keys is for the tightening it up, and the other Allen keys are for the windage adjustments. So you get the little screwdriver as well for changing the battery. It fits on a standard rail. So here is my faithful Elector, and originally this was the original factory recess, but when I tried to put the sight on, it was catching. You see, it's actually catching on the iron sight at the front, so it doesn't sit properly. So I just had to use a file just to file that in there, so that now it sits on the gun. I'll just tighten her up. Okay. There we go. Doesn't need to be ridiculously tight. Let's zoom back out. So there you are. So it's essentially almost identical to the sight I've replaced it with, which is one of the reasons I wanted this sight, because as well it now means that it will all just fit back into my case. So there we go. There she is. The Hawke Reflex sight. They do 2 versions of this. They do this one, and they do one with a wider field of view. But obviously for this is only a UK pistol. It's not really needed. But there we go. Very, very nice sight indeed. Well worth the money. Well worth the money. Not cheap, but then again, you know, quality items cost. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.